Liuba came to visit yesterday. We stayed up late. I didn't get enough sleep. Yulia yawned into the phone when her husband called her in the morning to check on her. I see. What is she telling me? Vitali asked, taking wife's word for it. She was bragging about her new earrings. Her husband gave her diamond earrings. She's in seventh heaven. And was it her birthday? No, just like that. She sighed indignantly. Do you really need a reason to please your beloved woman? I see. Your friend is lucky with her husband, unlike you. Is that what you want to say? I'm not complaining, Vitya. I'm lucky with you too. You're honest, smart and diligent. What else can you think of? He grinned. Do you at least miss me? I draw crosses on the calendar every day. There are 3 days left until you arrive. Okay, I have to go, said Vitali and hung up. Yulia basked in bed for a while longer, remembering yesterday. Liuba had actually stopped by to visit her, but that wasn't yesterday. One evening, Yulia went for a walk and met her classmate, who had recently bought an apartment in the neighbouring building. I would never have thought that you would move to this boring area from the city centre, where there are so many beautiful places to relax. And what's here? A park for pensioners. She shrugged her shoulders with displeasure, sincerely not understanding what he had found here. I was looking for a place to live, not far from work. I was tired of getting up at 6 in the morning and driving to the other end of the city, collecting fines, answered Sergei, hiding the true reason for his decision. If I were you, I'd rather change my job than my place to live. But I traded my old car for a new one. I finally get enough sleep. It's easier to clean a 1-room apartment than a 3-room one. Plus, I feel calm here. And a nice bonus, my classmate turned out to be a neighbour. Sergei laughed cheerfully, listing the benefits of his choice. You knew that I lived in this area. Don't introduce yourself. But I didn't expect to be nearby. There's someone to turn to for help if I suddenly need it. He smiled sweetly, closing his eyes. You're daydreaming, she blurted out, crossing her arms over her chest. How mean and inhospitable you are. It's a shame to even let you into your own neighbourhood. I don't mind, please, she snorted. Usually people move from a 1-room apartment to a 3-room apartment, but for you, it's the other way around. Downhill? Don't tease. It's offensive, by the way. You haven't changed a bit. You have a caustic tongue. He playfully got angry, nudging her in the side with his elbow. They talked like old acquaintances for a while, and then they began to trust each other with their secrets. The park became their meeting place. Sergei told her that he had a crush on her at school, but was afraid to admit his feeling. I thought you would laugh and humiliate me in front of everyone. Was I really such a bitch? Why was I? He laughed. Well, in the end, did you marry a good one? At least, that's what I thought. We lived together for 7 years. The first 2 years she was sweet and fluffy, and then she started to show her character. I suppose you danced to her tune and did women's work around the house. He nodded silently, looking away. If girls are good, where do bad wives come from? She said, sympathizing with him. It's your own fault. You rushed into marriage. I got angry when I found out you got married. Well, well. I shouldn't have gotten married because someone couldn't bring themselves to confess their feelings. But you rushed into marriage, she indignantly slapped her thighs. What a fool I am. That's not the word. Well, how's your personal life? I don't like to embellish things, but it's better than yours. However, it's worse than my friends. What's wrong with you? I don't see my husband for months. It was hard at first, but then I got used to it. But then the usual became boring. Sometimes I have this feeling that my life is not like that of normal women. It's like I don't deserve basic signs of attention. Have you ever given your wife flowers for no reason? I once gave her 1,001 roses. Was I guilty or something? She widened her eyes. Number, she was just offended for no reason, he grinned. I see. And did you just give it to her like that? He shook his head, embarrassed. Some girls who are seasoned before marriage know how to act in such a way that their husbands are ready to carry them in their arms. I took care of my honour and remained faithful to my husband, but I still don't understand the secret of these women. My friend says that I don't know how to value myself. In short, I don't know how to be a mystery and flirt, she blurted out, sighing heavily. Apparently, you and I have one problem. I don't know how to be a real man, and you don't know how to be a woman. You're trying to be exemplary and good, but I don't know how to pretend. In short, we need to find a happy medium. She laughed loudly. I never thought that we would discuss this topic with you. We're friends now, so come over to my place tomorrow for tea, she blurted out without a second thought. Will your family be okay with it? Maybe we can go to a cafe somewhere. My husband is on duty. He'll be back in 4 days. My son is in camp until the end of the month. We can't talk peacefully in a cafe. Are you afraid of me? I'm inviting you as a friend, not as a man. It's a shame, he said quietly. What? I'm just kidding. Thank you for the invitation. I'll come to your place after work. In the evening, Yulia cooked dinner, thinking that he would come home hungry. He came to her with a large bouquet of white lilies. Why? She was dumbfounded. I just wanted to make you happy, he smiled, hoping that she would be happy. I'm not expecting flowers from you, but from my husband, so take them with you and give them to your girlfriend there, she blurted out and quickly walked into the kitchen. You'd better go eat. Sergei hung there for a moment and couldn't move. He was upset that she didn't appreciate his efforts. Why are you standing there like an offended boy? Come in. Will you at least have some cake with your tea? He asked quietly, putting the cake on the table. Of course. If you had come without a cake, I would have sent you back, she grinned, putting casserole on the plates. It smells delicious. Why so much? I can't eat that much. He widened his eyes, looking at his portion. Come on, eat. The wind won't blow you away, she ordered him solicitously. Do you talk to your husband like that too? The wind definitely won't blow him away. I'll introduce you to him. You'll. The wind might not blow him away. But you remind me of my mother, and your role is to be his wife. Otherwise, you'll never learn the secret of those women who bask in male attention, and he's unlikely to be pleased to meet me. Okay, then I won't say that you came. Yes, maybe I shouldn't have agreed to come to visit when the host is not home. I'd better go, he said, getting up from the table. Yulia sat him back down, pressing on his shoulder. Wait, where are you going? Now we'll have some tea and you'll tell me what an ideal wife should be like. Listen, for me, an ideal wife is you. No need to spend money on gifts and rack your brains on how to please you. Feed her, cuddle her, and don't let other men near you, he laughed, stuffing a huge piece of cake into his mouth. Yulia smiled contentedly, watching him eat so appetizingly. But the desired woman whom you want to please, surprise, and give your attention to is different, he added, stroking his belly. Over 8. And here, in more detail, she was about to listen attentively to her friend. She sat, her eyes widening, when she heard his opinion and secret desires. Okay, go home already. You're too carried away by your ideal. You will definitely meet such a woman. Thank you for your advice. I hope you have already regretted that you suffered from unrequited love at school. Sergei silently cast a tender glance at her and went home. She never saw him again. Her husband returned from his shift in a good mood. He brought Yulia a gold watch. You are the best. You guessed my wish, thank you, she said quietly, hugging her husband. She slowly headed to the kitchen, swaying her hips. Vitali followed her, inhaling the aroma of his favourite dish. The house was cosy, warm and calm. Yulia was surprisingly gentle, affectionate and mysteriously silent. An unusual evening awaited him. His wife appeared before him in a new guise. She herself liked surprising her husband and basking in his attention. One day, Vitali found a job in his city. I've had enough shifts. I want to be near you, he said, pleasantly surprising his wife.